No one on the crew that morning expected a K9 dog to change their lives forever, but sometimes, heroes arrive on four legs, with dirt on their paws and courage in their hearts. It was just past dawn when the hum of heavy machinery broke the early silence at a half-finished housing development on the outskirts of a small town in Oregon. The sky was still painted in soft pinks and golds when the foreman, Rick Dwyer, called his team together for the daily briefing. Rick was a broad-shouldered man in his late 40s with tired eyes that had seen too many corners cut in the name of profit. But today, they were on schedule, maybe even ahead, and he felt, for once, that things were going to be easy. That changed when Officer Maria Lopez arrived on site with her K9 partner, Titan. Titan was a 6-year-old German Shepherd with a reputation for being more intuitive than any handler could teach. Maria, who'd been with the force for nearly a decade, had volunteered Titan for a community demonstration at a nearby school later that day. But first, she needed to drop off some paperwork at the city office next door to the construction site. She thought a quick walk around the site would be a nice break for Titan before his big day with the kids. No one paid much attention at first. A police K9 sniffing around was no big deal, until Titan stopped by the chain-link fence near the far end of the site and refused to move. Maria tugged gently on his leash. "Come on, boy. Let's go." But Titan didn't budge. Instead, he lowered his nose to the dry earth and began to dig furiously, spraying dirt behind him in frantic bursts. Rick frowned, walking over with a couple of workers trailing behind him. "What's going on here, officer? This site's dangerous, that dog shouldn't be digging here." Maria's brow furrowed. Something's got his attention. "Let me check." They expected maybe an old squirrel burrow or a buried lunch wrapper. But as Titan clawed deeper, a smell hit Maria first, earthy, damp, with something sour underneath that turned her stomach cold. "Rick, call your crew back. Now." Rick could see it in her eyes. Whatever Titan found, it wasn't good. A few more scratches of Titan's strong paws revealed something pale beneath the dark soil. Maria dropped to her knees, brushing dirt away with shaking hands. She drew a sharp breath when the shape came into view, a small, skeletal hand, curled as if still holding on to hope. Rick stumbled backward, mouth dry. "Dear God." Work stopped. The rumble of machines died. A heavy silence settled over the site, broken only by Titan's soft whine as he sniffed the unearthed grave. Maria radioed it in. Within minutes, the site was swarming with squad cars, yellow tape, and detectives murmuring in grim clusters. Titan sat obediently by the edge of the shallow grave, ears perked, eyes watchful. He had done his job, but the questions were only beginning. Hours turned into days. The construction site transformed into a crime scene. The skeletal remains belonged to a child, a girl, maybe 7 or 8 years old. No missing persons report matched. No one in the neighborhood recognized the artist's sketch the forensics team put together from the fragile bones and scraps of faded clothing. Maria felt the weight of it pressing on her chest every night she went home to her small apartment, where Titan curled up faithfully by her bed. She couldn't sleep. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw that tiny hand reaching out of the earth. She knew Titan sensed it, too. He would nudge her awake when nightmares made her tremble. One morning, after another restless night, Maria stood in the precinct's break room, staring at the crime board pinned with photos, maps, and dead-end leads. Detective Ron McCaffrey, a seasoned cop with a salt and pepper beard and a permanent coffee mug in his hand, stepped in beside her. "You look like you haven't slept since Tuesday," he said. "I haven't," Maria replied, rubbing her eyes. "It's like she's asking me not to forget her." Ron looked at Titan, who sat by Maria's side, alert even now. He bent down and scratched the dog's ears. "Your boy's got more sense than any of us. Maybe you should let him lead you again." They did. Maria spent the next week combing through abandoned lots, wooded trails, and old records, always with Titan beside her. When the trail seemed to run cold, Titan would find a scent, a scrap of cloth, a discarded toy, a forgotten shoe half buried behind a condemned house. Each clue painted a haunting picture of a life no one had noticed was gone. The deeper they dug, the uglier the truth became. Signs pointed to an old caretaker who used to live in a rundown trailer near the construction site. He'd died 5 years ago, no family, no friends, no one who cared enough to look for what he'd buried beneath the dirt. Maria and Titan's relentless search uncovered not just one grave but 3 more, all children, all hidden near places where people built new dreams over old nightmares. Each discovery made headlines, each vigil brought the town together in grief and outrage. As the news spread, people came forward, neighbors with guilty memories, construction workers who'd heard rumors, families who'd lost hope years ago but now had a name to mourn. Maria watched as the small town that once looked away found its voice. And through it all, Titan stayed at her side, his fur caked with mud and his eyes always searching. Rick, the foreman who had first protested Titan's digging, stood beside Maria at the last vigil held near the site where it all began. He squeezed her shoulder, his calloused hand trembling. If it weren't for him, would have built right over them. Like they never existed. Maria looked down at Titan, who wagged his tail softly at the crowd's candlelight flickering in the summer dusk. She knelt and pressed her forehead to his. "You gave them back their names," she whispered. The construction site was eventually turned into a memorial park. Instead of rows of cookie-cutter houses, the land bloomed with flowers, benches, and a statue of a German shepherd with his paw resting gently on a child's shoe. Maria and Titan were honored at a town ceremony, but she knew the real reward was something no medal could measure. Every time she saw a child playing safely in the park, every time someone laid a teddy bear by the statue, she knew Titan's work had made a difference that would never be buried again. And maybe that's the lesson we all need to carry with us, that sometimes, the truth hides just beneath our feet, waiting for someone brave enough to dig it up. Sometimes, heroes come in the form of loyal K9s who remind us that no life is too small to matter, no secret too old to uncover, no darkness too deep for the light to find. If Titan's story moved you, let us know in the comments below, share your thoughts, share your own stories, and let's keep these conversations alive. And if you believe in justice for those who can't speak for themselves, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and join our family here at Justice on Paws. Together, we can make sure every forgotten voice is finally heard. Thank you for watching, and remember, heroes walk among us. Some of them on 4 paws.